Welcome to EQTV, the emotional fitness channel. And today we're going to be talking about what a business owner needs to hear before he buys. It works every time. So stay tuned. I'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. I'm HowtocloseaSale, emotional fitness coach and performance strategist. And today I'm going to give you my 4 top techniques about what actually a business owner needs to hear to take that risk and actually buy off you. It doesn't really matter what you're selling, but I notice a lot of people I coach in sales and leadership haven't been in their own business, and they're often coming from a viewpoint of that salesperson mentality, opposed to actually understanding and being curious. I wonder what it would be like to actually be sitting in that person's seat. And if you can actually look through that lens, my goodness, you've got some real insight so that you can do the right thing and be really authentic and have that real high engagement and connection with your client. So the first thing that a business owner wants to know about is this has worked really well for someone just like him or someone he aspires to be. And therefore, I always encourage every single salesperson out there and leader to start building themselves a success portfolio, whether it be a business name, a number, what you did for them, just a brief story, so that you can actually have it in your folder and flick through, call it your gold portfolio, and have numbers, names. Look, these are the people I've helped. Oh, here's John. Look, I did this for him, increased his business by X amount, blah, blah, blah. And this sort of success portfolio sets you up every time with a connection that you could honestly, it's just so powerful. If somebody come to me and said, well, Marianne, I've got someone just like you that I did this for, and I instantly feel safe. Right? So everyone wants to feel that way. No one likes to be sold to. The more you tell, the less you sell, right? Number 2 is do your research, because if you come along and you're just talking about your company, it instantly creates a disconnect. Do your research about them. Make sure you know some things about them. Make sure that you know a lot about their competitors. Make sure you know, because then you've got some fuel where you can sit there and say, look, would I be correct in saying, and you may have watched a few of my other videos, but I cannot tell you how important it is to make sure you've done your research, because it all follows on from there. Then I want you to make sure that you can, step 3 is to do some ROI examples. And whenever someone's putting together a business plan, they're always looking at their highest operational costs versus their lowest profit. So I want you to take their worst case scenario that could possibly happen. The worst case scenario is you're going to come out with this outcome. Because the more you can do the worst case scenario and the more realistic you can have, the better they're going to be able to envisage, wow, if that's the worst case scenario, I'm still going to nail it. So it's putting people in that really safe container when you're producing what you can do for them. So return on investment is very, very valuable, but make sure you're doing it correctly. And lastly, one of the most powerful skills you can have and you must have to be a really successful salesperson is a combination of these things, but then it's about empathy. Because if this is how it all ties in. So if you've got your success stories, you've expressed those, then you've moved into the dance of research. Would I be correct in saying you've taken one of their products or services, you know what ROI at the worst case scenario they can expect, and then you come into, so Mr. Client, Mrs. Client, what would this mean for you if I could take your business from here to here? What would it mean for you? You know, I've coached a lot of people, and some of them all have different needs and challenges. Some are wanting to retire. Some of them are going to become a real business owner versus a slave to their trade. So what would it mean for you? You know, what are your goals around this, so that, you know, you're looking to put in a manager so you can be a real business owner, or you're going to stay in the business? You know, did you buy a job? I mean, really getting into the nuts and bolts so you can create some empathy. Like, my goodness, it must be tremendous high pressure. I couldn't imagine what you go through. So what I want to do is make sure this really works for you. So you're tying in everything you're saying, and you know why you're saying it. There's nothing worse than a salesperson just asking a question with no meaning behind it. So I hope that's helpful for you. Speak about outcomes, speak about ROI, speak about success. If everything you speak about is an outcome, you will build a relationship with authenticity, and they will buy off you every time. So please like and share and click and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.